Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I am Nicole. Guys, this is going to be your reading from March 11th through the 17th. This will be for your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus cross-watcher. If that is you, welcome to the channel as well. I know I've been a little bit on a hiatus here lately as far as getting videos posted. It's been a busy schedule for me, so I apologize for that. But those readings are going to be out this week for March for the rest of you. For the Scorpio Collective, 30-some thousand different views, so thank you all for your love and support. For those of you who have booked personal readings and donated to the channel, thank you very much. You're welcome. Huh? Anyhow, so Aries through Pisces, we're going to run through the zodiac signs for this week and see what's going on in your energy. I will say Pisces new moon just yesterday or last night. You can still harness the power of that new moon in Pisces. It's a lot of emotional energy coming to the surface. I will say for fixed signs, you could be evolving emotionally, but also recognize at the same time that for you guys, that resistance to change could still be there. So you kind of could be dabbling back and forth in an old way of doing things as you're starting to step into a space of vulnerability and opening yourself up. So just be aware. If you're feeling these emotional changes coming to the surface, you can thank this Pisces new moon, but it is a revolutionary way of letting go of the past so that we can open up to our emotions and the future that we desire rather than the old toxic cycles and the things that have broken down in the past that we built foundations on that were not healthy. So a lot of that energy right now is shifting. So be open to that change as it comes in, fixed signs and all signs alike. So Aries, let's just jump right into your reading this week. Again, March 11th through the 11th through the 18th. I can't even think. So Aries. All right. And guys, my voice this morning is a little raspy, so you may have to turn the volume up on your device to make sure you're hearing me, and I apologize for that. So, all right, Aries. Spirit for Aries, what is going on March 11th through the 18th? Productivity comes out in specialization. There's a pause and a reflection about something here, Aries, and I feel like this could be related to potential family dynamics. This could also be in relation to relationships, partnerships as well this week. No surprise there with that Pisces new moon. But there's something here, Spirit is saying, that is being put on pause or hold. I feel like there's a little bit of stagnancy surrounding a situation that you're dealing with or taking a look at. It almost feels like if you're dealing with somebody else, they could be putting the brakes on something. So this is a review process of what Spirit is saying, what actually works. Is this feasible, is what I'm hearing from Spirit. Is this a feasible situation? Because something here is already caught into a repetitive cycle. And it's like someone here, whether this is you, Aries, or someone you're dealing with, is really looking at like the pros and cons, the positive, the negatives of a situation, and going, is this something that I want to do? Because the specialization with this Pisces new moon is saying to me that there's a new way to alchemize a situation, or a new way of doing, a new way of being, as I say to you guys so often. But the productivity aspect of it is like busyness, keeping yourself busy maybe while these changes are taking place this week. So don't hesitate to be in flow with the changes as they're happening. It could feel a little overwhelming, Spirit is saying right now, but it's almost like you guys you could feel like you don't have a say in a particular situation. You're kind of like not so much in a state of flow, but as an observer to a situation, waiting for some type of decision or process to be made so that you know what direction you are going. So it's a little bit of an influx that's happening this week for you. Anxiety comes out, and cornucopia, like what would make you feel good, what would heighten. Spirit is saying heighten your senses this week to Aries, and it's like, how do you get there is what I'm hearing. There's a lot of constraints you may be feeling with this envy and constraints card, that it almost feels like it's not, the potential of it actually happening is very vague. It is maybe feeling like there's resistance to that, or you're just not seeing it as a win when it's said and done. So, but there's something here coming to a close. You've got a 9 and a 10, and then you've got the 11. no matter what the circumstances, it's going to be about how you handle it, in the sense that if it, whatever this is, works, you're going to feel good in it. And even if it doesn't work, you're going to be okay with the overall outcome of a particular situation. So let's clarify a little bit. Healing, judgment. Again, someone making a decision, right? That judgment card is just that, a decision-making process that's taking place. But again, this is about like an introspection. It's kind of like hangman energy of, or even the hermit, of really understanding why something has come together and how someone else is alchemizing. This could just be a healing experience, that anxiety coming out with the Seven of Cups, Knight of Wands, some impulsive energies happening. There's emotions that could be all over the place. Again, Pisces new moon, not surprised by this. But at the same time, it's kind of like there's a reiteration of that anxiety, the feeling almost defeated, the Five of Pentacles, feeling, you know, left out in the cold or not having enough. Aries, for some of you, I think you are in a process of rebuild. And part of that is coupled with this emotional confusion that comes in, and it's like, I'm not sure what direction I want to go or what's going to serve me the best. This has got to be an equal give and take situation. This could be around partnership with the Lover's card. It doesn't have to be, but this again is about choices, and it's like taking a look at the choices that you yourself are making could be tied to a Scorpio. Does not have to be, but you have Scorpio, Gemini here as well. But I do feel like that this cycle of a situation is going to close out to offer better choices. Aries, there you are, the Emperor there with the cornucopia. Like, no matter what, you may not see the potential and the balance of something that is kind of playing itself out, that heave and ho, that up and down. Not sure what direction something is going to go, but no matter what, on the other side of this, there's different opportunity. But the opportunity there is about releasing the constraints of the past for yourself. So there's a lot of like you kind of being the observer this week and just seeing how things flow together when it's said and done. And that, seeing the Ten of Swords and the King of Cups again, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces energy. But it's almost like you're trying to figure out what your next move is going to be. Advice for Aries: grounding, stability, security, performance, growth, and endurance. I do feel like you're getting your feet wet in a couple areas of life, whether this is work, love, life, family, home, relationships, whatever this is. But Spirit is asking you that when you're feeling emotionally unstable, whatever that looks like to you, it's important that you ground your energy. So take time to, you know, get outside or just do some meditation or something like that. Again, I do think that separation is on the horizon. This is about breaking a cycle for yourself and potentially for the other person that you're dealing with, or a situation that you're dealing with. It's going to be about how you handle it from an emotionally mature space. Keeping your emotions in check, not letting anxiety be like the fear monger to your life. And then it's like, there's a strong interest in something here, Aries, and then with that, it's like, it's almost like you're trying to constantly bridge a gap or figure out like a person's next move or whatever they're doing. Don't try to figure it out. Just be in a state of flow with whatever this is. And I'm going to say with work, if there's some situations around your work right now, you're going to have to be flexible until it plays itself out. But I think within the next week to 2 weeks by the full moon, you're going to have a lot more clarity and go, okay, this was not meant for me, and be okay with that. So let it be just that. Let it be exactly what it needs to be for you. Taurus. 8:56. All right, Taurus, what's going on for you guys this week? Taurus. All right, Taurus. March 11th through the 18th, Taurus. I hope you guys are doing well. Renewal and time. Spirit is talking about time healing emotional wounds of the past. I know in your last reading, I said about like the last 6 months. I do feel like this is, there's a lot of decision making from Aries to you guys in just the first 2 readings, where you're deciding what direction you are going to renew something. Is it with the same old thing, or is it with something new? And there's a spark here, Taurus, that is kind of culminating for you. Yeah, patterns ready but waiting. I do feel like you've held on to a particular situation for far too long, Spirit is saying. And it's like you're just wanting peace, you're wanting to open yourself up, you're wanting to finally say the things that need to be said, but in a much more grounded way of doing it. And you're realizing that something that has happened on repeat is not going to change unless you are the one to make those changes this week. So it's, again, it's like finally stepping into some kind of power here, Taurus, for yourself to make those changes happen. It's not going to change unless, you know, if those external situations are not changing around you, eventually you're going to have to be the one to make that change. And healer of the ages, I said healing, right? There's a perception of shift after a period of, I'm going to call it taking a time out. There's that hangman energy again, right? After taking a period of time out, you're starting to realize that there's not much that you can do in a particular situation. And you're seeing it differently. It's like, this does not have to affect my stability. My stability, my security lies within myself to ground, connect, perceive what things are like in the sense of reality. That Pisces new moon can be very dreamy, very aloof. You know, it's like when pigs fly kind of thing. 11:11 on the clock there. Excuse me, my eyes itching. But this is like seeing that stability outside of a particular situation is going to look very different to you moving forward. I do feel like, Taurus, this week, and kudos to you, that you're embracing that. You're taking that time out to reflect and kind of renew yourself so that you know what direction you are headed in the future. For whatever reason, it kind of gives me Scorpio vibes because, again, just like Aries here, observing, listening, paying attention to what is being said, some truths, some realities, what kind of reaction you're actually getting from somebody. You're kind of gauging and reading the tone, the lingo, the body language of a particular person and making those decisions. So it's kind of like you're waiting to see what a situation or a person's moves are going to be so that you can make a very well-rounded decision based on reality rather than the fantasy of what it would look like if X, Y, and Z happen. So it's, you know, like seeing a person for who they truly are rather than what it is that you want them to be. So, or even a situation. It does not have to be a person. So what is this healer of the ages? Listen, it's Seven of Swords, the King of Pentacles. Taurus, for some of you, and this won't be all of you, and you've got Taurus here twice with the Empress and the King of Pentacles. Somebody wasn't clear about what the hell they even wanted. Queen of Swords, they could have come off a little brutal, a little cunning, a little even bitchy. I'm getting a bitchy energy with this Nine of Swords. Presenting themselves as being an empress to you, or what they, you know, whatever it was they were trying to show their game face to. The problem with that is there's a lot of lies and secrecy behind this. You've got the Seven of Swords and the High Priestess. There's a lot of things that are unknown. There's a lot of like back and forth, tit for tat, fluctuation in what has transpired between you and whomever or whatever this is. You cannot build stable foundations on secrets and lies. There's just no way that it's going to uphold itself in the long term. Six of Cups. And I think too, for a lot of you, if you look back, this is something, talking about those patterns, that Six of Cups is something that returns from the past, but this doesn't have to be a person, right? This is, you know, this emotional pattern of, Spirit is saying almost like an abusive type situation. So, you know, if you're in an abusive situation, by God, get out of it. But I feel like this is more about the emotional manipulation of situations. You could have been dealing with people like this time and again, you know, same devil, different face, as we say. But this is a repeat cycle that has continued to happen, a pattern that's continued to happen with the people in which you're dealing with, tied to the emotions here. You get to dictate in your world what that emotional cycle looks like for you. And I think that you're starting to have that aha moment around the secrecy, around the lies, around the deception, about hidden truths. I do think that there is going to be something that is either you have already come into knowledge of whatever this is and you're sitting with that right now with this Hermit energy, Virgo, or you there's going to be some kind of secret revealed and you're playing it close to the cuff. You may have working knowledge of a situation that you're seeing that, you know, a judgment call. Here you go. You've got 3 cards basically of endings one way or another. The Eight of Cups, the Judgment card, the Death card, and then the Four of Pentacles. you're holding on to some kind of information that affects your stability, and making, I think, a very sound decision to just not even put in a fight or argue with somebody or something, and just going, you know what, if we never talk again, I'm not going to be the least bit upset. With this Pisces new moon, Taurus, this is also part of you changing the way that you handle people, places, things, situations, because you're not going to repeat the past anymore, or at least there's a strong attempt from a lot of you to not repeat that past energy. So the advice, Taurus, date. Some of you, if this was a relationship situation, on the bottom here, blowing kisses, it's kind of like, it reminds me of Pink's blow me one last kiss, like, fuck you, that kind of thing. I made a strong attempt to be the stable, secure one, to make an attempt. It's like somebody was playing with your emotions, playing with, for some of you that are open to love and connection, and trying to partner up and do the human thing, right? This old school pattern, it's like, it may have started off what appeared to be different, right? But now that the mask has come off, the honeymoon phase is over, whatever this is, you're seeing a repeat cycle with this person. Or, maybe this is, again, repeat cycle from years ago where you're seeing the same kind of dynamic. But it's kind of like, see ya. Taurus, I do feel like you're making a grand exit to make healthier choices for yourself. But this is also about you understanding the why of how these situations continue to play out, or why you've allowed this person or situation to continue going over and over again. It's kind of like that loop. It's just that repetitive loop that's been happening. So I do think that, I don't know that you're going to argue what information is coming to light, but I do see you holding on to that. And it might be, Spirit is saying, even a couple of months before you kind of reveal what it is that you know. But when, as I say that, there's the throat chakra. Right now you're sitting with that information and that knowledge, but I think there's going to be a point where you finally say that one last statement, that one last thing, that one big word that says, here's the context to this situation. Honest to God, this doesn't work. This is not fluid. This is not easy. This is complicated. Somebody could just, it's almost like you're checking out, and it's kind of like a bit of karma in the sense that if they've checked out on you emotionally in the past, like, you're just finally putting an end to a particular situation. For some of you, it may not be this week. They're saying 8 days. So it could take an extra little bit of time there. So Gemini, 1749. All right. Gemini, I hope you guys are doing well as well. Let's see what's going on in your energy this week, Gemini, March 11th through the 18th. Context. I don't feel like you're fully expressing what it is that you need to say. There's a lot of things around emotions and expressing through Aries, Taurus, and now you, Gemini. How do I put this? There's an innocence to how you feel, what you want to say. You may not feel like you can effectively communicate how something is making you feel at this time. And it's like you're waiting for a particular moment to learn how to express yourself in regards to something here. But it's like you're kind of, I do get this feeling of holding back, or kind of pausing, or trying to understand deeper concepts. You're definitely in that mental air energy, Gemini. Trying to take a feeling and then put it into words or context that is going to make sense, because it's almost like you can't quite put words to an emotion, a feeling, a thought that would truly make it make sense to say it to somebody or to something, so just be aware, like, yes, it's almost like you're really searching to make communication clear, not knowing how to do that, and there's this deceit. So this could be, trying to lie or push down the way you feel about something, trying to decide what direction you want to take that, but there's an attachment. Like, you could be seeing toxicities in either yourself and or someone else, and then it's like trying to comprehend. It's like you're really trying to make clear sense of a particular situation where you don't feel like you're either being taken advantage of, lied to, manipulated, there's a lot of things Spirit is saying that as this new moon and we move into the full moon, there's a lot of truths that are coming out. So we've got the new moon, we've got the full moon, we've got the eclipse coming in Libra. We've also got Mercury going retrograde here before long, I believe. So it's like there's all these things that are kind of coming to the surface right now, Gemini. And for some reason, I feel like you're going to be heavily impacted by this. But understand, Spirit is saying this, that this is for your growth. So don't... It's going to help you understand something that you're struggling with right now on a deeper capacity. So it's like you're really trying to dive into feelings that you guys tend to struggle with, right? There's a lot of back and forth energy in those feelings. And I don't think right now you know how to feel about a particular situation. Two of Cups, a lot of partnership energy right now. And this year's going to be a lot about partnerships, relationships. And we talk about that Piscean energy. That's the Cups, right? So that's Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. That unity of what brings things together. And I do feel like you're trying to bridge a gap in the most emotionally centered way in a situation so that it's got healthier foundations moving forward, whether it's with a particular person or a situation or somebody new or something new. But there's a lot of healing. I've been getting a lot of healing around that Two of Cups energy lately. And it's like, how do we bring this together? How do we ask for forgiveness? How do we solidify and rectify situations from the past so that it doesn't feel so heavy anymore? And that's what I'm getting here with that. Page of Swords in the reverse, there's that communication, right? Or the lack thereof. Holding back on your words or maybe not wanting to see something. So make sure that you're not sitting in a space this week of like self-denial, self-deception. I do feel like this deceit isn't necessarily coming from somebody else as much as it is you kind of going back and forth in your energy, the duality, right? The light and the dark of, do you really want to see it for what it is? And I think that you're in a situation that it's like your emotions have to address that this is not a healthy way, or a person is not in a healthy situation, or whatever this might be that is going to be fruitful for you in the long term. Like you can, and it's not for the sake of healing a relationship, Gemini. It's for the sake of healing you. It's going to heal all partnerships around you as time goes on. As I say that, there's the devil on the bottom. It's been a hard-fought battle with this toxicity, and this could be that release as we're seeing with the new moon and moving into the full moon, that this is changing up, right? Like you're aware of it, you know that it exists. Now what's going to be done about it? Because it's like there's this fast-forward moving energy. It could have been something that was said that seems to be a little off, or something that's uncomfortable. There's something about it that tends to lean into unhealthy, and you're recognizing whether this is a personal trait of your own or this is somebody in what you're dealing with. So just be aware. If you're feeling like you're holding back communication, or you're not wanting to look at something for what it is, or you're downplaying a behavior or words or whatever it is, don't do that. Don't do that right now. You have a time to kind of start to emotionally balance things out and heal. Make sure that you're utilizing that energy for that. Okay, and then you've got the Tower and the Four of Cups coming out sideways, the Devil again, and the Three of Pentacles. This is all going to be about the way that you're partnering up and working with other people, and I do think that there's a very heavy realization to a fact here with this Tower card. I don't think this is a bad Tower. I think this is an epiphany, an aha that's going to clear up any confusion or clean up the things that you're in denial of and not wanting to see, right? I talked about not wanting to see, and there it is again, that Three of Cups. His focus is on everything but what's being handed to him. Don't let go of, Spirit is saying, loving situations because you're hoping for the best out of another one. Open yourself up to something new here, Gemini. But it's going to be, it's almost like you're seeing this though in multiple areas of your life. It's not just going to be one person or one situation. I feel like this is a multitude of things. So you've got Aries, Scorpio energy here on the board. A lot of cups. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, karmic relationship, backstabbing. Again, for some of you, this could be someone who's not being honest and truthful with you. Page of Swords in the reverse with that backstabbing coming out. I just feel like you don't trust it. That's really what it boils down to. There's a need to let go of this old unhealthy partnership or this old unhealthy viewpoint of a partnership or situation where the communication has lacked. But at the same time, I don't feel like you trust it. And that's kind of where that denial is coming in of I don't want to see it for what it is because I would like to think better. Believe it. If people show you who they are and what they are, believe it. When they show you, believe it. A lot of emotional confusion, period, with this. Interested in you, blooming romance, flirting, dating, or wanting to date. The mask. I think I said I think it was for you or Taurus, right? That honeymoon phase is over. I really want to say to you, watch the communication, and even watch the communication that you should be hearing and you're not hearing right now. That's a big thing. Like, there could be things that should be being said at this point in a particular situation, and you're not hearing those things. For some of you, you could have somebody else coming in way out of left field, and you may be ignoring that person or that situation. They may catch you off guard because I feel like, again, you're going to be dealing with multiple situations here. Allow yourself to feel what comes in that does feel good as opposed to trying to see something in a light that's not for you. So let go this week of any self-denial. See things for exactly what they are. That's the key takeaway for this week for you, Gemini. See things for exactly what they are because they're being illuminated for you. So Cancer, 26:45. All right, Cancer, let's see what's going on here for you guys. I hope you're doing well and fantastic, and your reading and Pisces should be out here potentially today, so that's the goal anyhow. Consistency and dependability. Spirit is saying returning home for you. Returning home, going back to a more stabilized existence for some of you. So maybe some of you have been traveling, or maybe it's almost like even just leaving work and going home and going, thank God I'm finally home. Like, what a day. But it's like you're leaning into something that makes you feel better. Fragments coming out and shift. The dissolve of... You're gaining insight, Cancer, and talking about dissolving. Again, that energy of seeing things, not wanting to see, but you can't unsee what you now know. You could have come into a reality, a realization, a timeline shift even maybe, Cancer, where you're seeing that things are not in which that perception. Again, Pisces energy with this new moon, daydreaming. You may have had this pretty little picture of something painted in your mind about how something is or was, or a person is or was. Your reality to that is shifting, that it's not as stable as you once thought it was. And in this return from whatever situation, maybe it's a friendship, a partnership, work, whatever, you're realizing how broken something truly is. And it's almost like you're wanting to jump in and heal, fix, course correct, but it's almost like a massive energy drainer for you. Like, you had to go and see something, you had to go and realize something for yourself, and now it's like once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you know, you can't unknow, right? You can't go back to that moment before that. So this is creating a shift. It could be a timeline shift for you where it's kind of, I'm hearing reality bites. Reality bites. But this is about, it's almost like when you walk into something and you have to have that experience, and then you leave that experience and you sit down and you take the time to kind of process what has happened or what you've seen or now have knowledge of. That's kind of what I feel this week is going to be a time of processing information or a shift that you've seen. Fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel, healer of the ages and patience coming out sideways. For some of you, I'm hearing, I thought I did a better job. I don't know what that is. If you're dealing with another person, in which you've had some kind of insightful impact on, and they have not learned lessons, or you may feel like they're repeating certain things. They have to meet a particular situation halfway. There's only so much that you can do, and you're not responsible for everything and everybody else. At some point, they have to step in and do the work for themselves. If you also feel like, you know, that adage of, I wish I knew then what I know now, again, you can't change it. Everything is working out in divine timing with this patience card, and I feel like sometimes things are really kicking into high gear and you're feeling it. Other times you're like, I wish I would have done more. Then there's this, I've done what I can do. So you could be feeling a little bit helpless around a situation now that you see it, because I don't feel like it's so much yours. It may be an extension of you, but it's not your situation. And it's kind of like, what do I say to this? How do I address this as I move forward with whatever this is? The difference is you've gained wisdom over the years, Cancer, and somebody else may just have a lot of inexperience and not know how to handle that. So they're just not ready to see what you see or to know what you know, or there's a lot of energy around the experience of what they don't have as opposed to what you now have years later. So be mindful of that. But I do feel like you're putting your thoughts and feelings on, it's like you're not sounding the alarm on it, you're just aware of it. 3 of Cups. So again, after a time of being around a particular situation, 4 of Swords, taking a rest and a reprieve from that. It's almost like, you know, 3 of Cups, cause for celebration, looking forward to meetings and exchange of conversation, cause of Spirit is saying reunion as well. It's everybody coming together in this 3 of Cups energy, but now it's over. And now you're realizing, you know, some kind of boundary needed to take place here and how it's affected a foundation. 7 of Pentacles coming out with the Healer of the Ages. Again, it's like that longing for, you know, he's planted the seeds, he's waiting for some kind of result here. Understand that whatever this is, Cancer, you can't rush in and save everything. Not everything is yours to take care of. And this Knight of Cups is like wanting to come in and heal it or fix it or give it love or nurture it. Spirit is telling you that cycle is complete. It's done. Whatever this is done. And I think that by the full moon, you're going to have a deeper understanding of that knowledge as to why it's done. That it's not yours. You're in a place right now where you have to release anything that you think you should have done. You can't go back and change the past. Where someone else is exactly where they need to be. It's their journey. It's not yours. Okay, so be mindful of that. You could be dealing with a Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius. It does not have to be. But it's like, to me, that's more of the knowledge that you've acquired over the years. Like, they're all sitting there working on books, right? Like, it's the knowledge that you've acquired. The Snake, competition and energy, other woman look over your shoulder. I'm going to say this to you guys just as much as I think I said to Gemini. It's a matter of trust. And, you know, maybe Billy Joel's, it's always been a matter of trust. Spirit is saying there may have been times in the past where you didn't feel like you could trust yourself to see things for what they exactly were. Meeting, talking, savoring the moment, feeling elevated, building friendship. I feel like you had made an attempt to start something over, but now that you have, you're seeing, it's almost like, you know, maybe you meet up with a friend after 20 years and you have changed and elevated and you've done your spiritual work and you've worked on yourself, and maybe you're realizing that this person is still in the same kind of energy they were 20 years ago and they're not for you. He's like, oh, why didn't I stay connected to this person? Why didn't I do more to help this person? Why didn't I take them along for the ride? That commitment to the self for you is what you needed, and this person or this situation needed to commit to itself to do the healing work as well. It's not yours to heal. So, one more piece of advice for Cancer, please, Spirit. All right, and the Golden Mirror, narcissist, love bombing, self-absorbed one side. You could be dealing with somebody who's extremely selfish. And maybe, you know, Cancer, you're a very nurturing, loving sign, and you're sitting back and you're watching these certain traits of a person, but make sure that you're not incorporating that. Just because somebody else, an extension of you, is that, does not mean that necessarily came from you. Okay? So whatever that means, whatever this extension is, I think that you played, whether you were like a role model, a friend, a lover, a parent, there is only so much you can do. We become adults and we have choices, and we are perfectly aware of what's right and wrong and what works and what doesn't work. If they've made other choices than what you would like them to have made, they're not your choices to rectify. Their consequences to their decisions and their purpose, their journey. It's up to them to course correct, not you. So don't hold guilt attached to that, okay? All right, Leo. 35, 14. All right, Leo, what's going on for you guys? Let's see, March 11th through the 14th. Shuffle these cards up first. Ace of Swords, Page of Pentacles. Somebody's spilling the beans. Somebody's coming in with some strong communication. It's not pushy. It's not caring connections. Try to pop out of there. It's not pushy. It's not overbearing. But they've got something to say. They've got some kind of truth or clarity. Maybe Leo, maybe it's you. Maybe you've got something to say, which would be fine and well, Leo. Pick a direction and go, right? All right, for Leo, March 11th through the 18th, Spirit, what does Leo need to know? Fragments and unity. Spirit is saying healing the past. Something's coming together here, despite the fragments. It's almost like, you know, when the sun's coming out and you've got your, you know, you're driving in your car and you got to stick your hand up in front of your face because even the visor's not cutting it right. It's too bright. And it's like, I want to see the light. I want to see it, but it hurts. I don't know why that's coming through that way, but it is. Wanting to see the light. It's like, I don't know. Dare I go there? Absence and pattern. Ooh, Leo. Ready but waiting. There you are, Leo. Absolutely 110% there you are. Dependability, reaction. It's almost like you are in awe of a feeling that something or someone may have given to you because you're the one coming out with this reaction. This ready but waiting is like they're peacefully, Leo, this could be you, but I feel like this is outside of you. They're peacefully waiting and like extending an olive branch to you with some kind of, it's a spiritual connection, Leo, that you're dealing with. I think you're questioning if you're going to get burnt again with that sun. Like, am I going to get burnt? Is it going to scorch my eyeballs out of my head kind of feel? Absence. It's like it's almost like absent-minded. Like, dare I think about this? Is this going to be a repeat of a particular situation? But I'm going to tell you that whatever this is coming in healed. So if you were dealing with something or somebody in the past, there's angel of balance. I'm telling you, it's been healed. They've been healed. A situation. There you go. I said spiritual. There it is, the crown chakra. That is as spiritually divine connected as it gets. Angel of balance. They're coming in true, genuine form, Leo. So if you're questioning whether or not, oh yeah, doors to personal happiness and healing, and 5th chakra, I said there's communication, and there it is. This is not the same. You could have dealt with somebody 6 months ago, as an example, even 12 months ago with this 48 here, and they're not the same person they were. So it's almost like you had to be pulled apart to come back together to solidify something here, Leo. So I don't think if you're paying attention, you'll see that it's not what it used to be. And this envy card coming out to me is I said about looking out into that sun, right? It hurts. There you go. I think there's fear attached here, Leo, as to whether or not, and there's that spiritual path, the gratitude, patience. Give whatever this is, its free right and opportunity, because I think if you're around something or somebody enough, you'll see that it's not the same way as it used to be. They had to walk the path. They had to figure it out. Maybe, again, this is you. You've had to walk the path. You've had to figure it out. You've become much more balanced. Maybe, one side or the other is feeling left out. I feel like this envy card, Spirit just showed this to me. This is the transformation of going from that dark to that light. They've stepped into the light. There is a transmutation of energy here to walk that temple path. It is enlightenment at its finest. Somebody here, and if not both of you, have gained some kind of enlightenment. You've had to fight sorrows, tears, difficult situations, but what you've learned on that journey is what is bringing this connectivity together again. 3 of Cups, celebration, successes, good times, just emotional happiness. 4 of Cups and the Knight of Swords with the Angel of Balance. You're afraid to see it for what it truly is at this point, and I think this is creating a tower moment for you to move into partnership. You could be dealing with a Aries, Scorpio, or a Cancerian. But the way I see this is more Leo of a water sign energy. This tower with Aries and Scorpio is something unexpected for you. You weren't expecting. You were just kind of like sitting on under your tree here and doing your thing, and you were not expecting this to come in. And I said they're not aggressive. They're not pushy or forceful. This Knight of Swords coming out sideways to me is a representation of that. 41:14 on the clock. Because they could be a little more, maybe you're used to this person or the situation being more blunt and more forthright and more aggressive. It's kind of like they're taming their own inner demons. They're taming that beast. They're taming that need to be so boisterous in something. That could be part of what's throwing you off with this. What is this? Envy. King of Pentacles. Somebody has totally leveled up. I honestly feel like this is a mix of both. King of Pentacles, 2 of Cups, Queen of Cups. I said it not long ago, and I said about that mastery of, right? There it is, Leo. There you are. They've mastered their emotions. They've mastered how they approach life. Like the whole viewpoint of partnership is different. They have healed. You have done some healing work. I said it, I was ready to say not long ago, the King of Pentacles or the Queen of Pentacles coupled with the King or Queen of Cups, Cancerian energy also. I think they're a beautiful pair, because if you look at like the balance of earth and water, or you look at the balance of air and fire, one has to have up the other to survive. And this is a beautiful alchemization and representation of that with this King of Pentacles and this Queen of Cups. Like somebody is coming in with full love, and one is like, okay, I feel good, I feel grounded, I feel connected to something. And I like that, because it is that self-mastery, and it's leaving the deception and being okay though too with taking what's rightfully yours. So it's kind of like standing your ground with this energy, Leo, this week. And Spirit just said invest in it. Whatever this is, invest in it. The golden mirror, love bombing, self-absorbed, one-sided, that could be what you're used to dealing with. Some of you could be dealing with third-party situations, does not have to be. But I think you're moving away from that kind of stuff more than anything. Death. The relationship is over. No second chances. Grow and transform. What's dead is dead. Taking that change, that transmutation, and turning it into healthy situations, what comes after that is new beginnings. And I do think that this is a new beginning, whether this is love or connectivity for you, Leo. But I think there's a little bit of fear that surrounds this. Grounding. Stability, security, performance, growth, and endurance. Lighthearted, adapt, finding out, and change. Things coming to light and healing. A higher level of love and commitment is coming in. Where I think something didn't measure up before, I'm not typically one that says to you, go back to the past, because a lot of people don't change. They don't make movement. You know, they may say it and present it that way, but then you come to find out it hasn't. But I will say to you that whatever this is, I do think that both sides of this situation have done the healing work that was necessary to be able to move into this next phase. And I do think it's been on more of a spiritual level and becoming more open to things that in the past would have tied you up and made you feel insecure or ungrounded. So embrace that. Go with it. All right, Virgo. All right, for Virgo, please, Spirit, what does Virgo need to know? March 11th through the 18th. time in a bottle. Was that Jim Croce that saying that time in a bottle? I don't know why that's coming up, but it is. All right, let's see, Spirit. What do you have for Virgo? Revolution, surface, preservation, and fortitude. Virgo, can we get one reading for you where we're not exhausted all the time? I mean, seriously. Stop fighting for things that do not fight for you. I feel like I could just play the same message on repeat for you guys over and over again. Somebody's not hearing you. Somebody's not listening. You might have your eyes wide open to something, but somebody else is sleeping on the job. And I feel like whatever this is, Virgo, and this could be your children, you're trying to preserve and fix something for them that they can't fix for themselves. Stop fighting everybody else's battles. If your kids are grown up, and just as an example, and they don't have a job, and they're dicking around, and they're not being responsible, it is not your job to pick up the slack. If you're dealing with a partner that is like this, it is not your job to pick up the slack. This is about equitable balance and going, you have to do your part. Because whatever this is, it's like you're muscling your way through it. You're holding on to strength and tenacity, and I've got this, but it's killing you, and it's feeding something else. So it's pulling. I mean, you think about it in the sense with this particular card, the preservation, which is like the death card. When a woman is pregnant, the body is working super hard to create life, right? To give something else life, and it takes away from you. So you have to be extra caring and extra nourishing and extra, getting extra rest and things like that to make this happen, to allow a new life to form. Make sure that the life that you're forming is not for somebody else. I feel like that whoever is there with you, or whoever you're dealing with, they just want to kind of have a cookie cutter way of life. They just want to smooth sail through everything, and they want you to put in the work. Is that your job? No, not at all. But you're just like, okay, I'll take this on. I'm going to take on a few more burdens. Spirit is asking you to rest, to reflect, to stop giving away your power, stop giving away your energy, stop pushing through everything. It's like you may have a lot of work to do around the sacral chakra, your desires, your ambitions, why you only feel light when you're doing for somebody else. What about yourself? What do you need? And I really feel like if you're going to put out that fortitude, you're going to put out that strength, what are you doing for yourself? Because that's going to be the most important thing. As I say that, here comes the Empress. There's a lot of energy around death and rebirth here. This could be a birthing of the self. It's almost like it's so hard to work on me. Why? Nobody knows you better than you. Work on you, love you, nurture you, care for yourself. Stop caring for everybody else. It's like that's the distraction. It's like it gives you an end goal. Spirit's asking you to have balance. Again, rest, rejuvenation, recovery is needed in a situation. Like you've got to give to yourself. So if you feel like, you're wearing out and wearing down, for the sake of love, like are you being an overgiver here, Virgo? A lot of potential here awaits you. You've got the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Cups, and you've got the Tower with the Six of Cups. There's a lot there, but it's not stable. And one thing we're missing is the Ace of Pentacles. You're not grounded in what it is you need to be grounded in, or whoever this is taking that Queen of Pentacles energy from you. They're you're working hard to provide them with stability. What stability are you giving yourself? Are you nurturing yourself rather than somebody else? And I think that that's going to be a very important factor as this cycle closes out for you. Page of Pentacles, the Emperor. Aries, Taurus, Libra here. Two of Wands. It's time to make a new choice. It's time to pick a new direction. Something that's going to give back to you equally as to what you're giving out here, Virgo, and you know this. You absolutely know this. Dragonfly. Things coming to light, healing, adapting, separation. Again, your eyes are wide open to a situation, and your future could be very uncertain because you're knowing that you need to withdraw from these connections. Boundaries hurt, avoiding conversation, not dealing, still upset. You need to implement those boundaries. Spirit's telling you to implement those boundaries. What comes after this is a transformation of yourself, that rebirth of the self, the phoenix rising. Whatever this is, let it go. Because you're going to spend forever chasing down somebody else to help them do better. It's self-sacrifice. If you're going to self-sacrifice, do it for yourself. Don't do it for somebody else. All right? So be aware, Virgo. Be very aware. All right, Libra. 38. Okay, Libra, let's see what's going on for you guys this week, March 11th through the 18th. I hope you're doing well. Unity coming out sideways. That was quick and productive. Oh, and magnetism. Oh, Libra. Libra, Libra, Libra. We've said this time and again. Something is being pulled apart. Somebody here is fiercely working on something this week, Libra, and I feel like this is... I almost feel like you're being pulled in to balance something with somebody you don't want to balance a damn thing with. And it's like the Spirit is saying the forces of nature are going to make this work one way or another. Are you going to get on board, or this could be somebody that you're dealing with? I do feel like whether this is universal, this is Spirit, this is God, or another person is putting the heat on you to make something alchemize and balance out. And it's kind of like, I feel like with this productivity card, it's like, here we are, these two people. What are you going to do? What are you investing? It's almost like a pentacle energy. What investment are you going to make to work with the universal forces of nature to balance something here? And, you know, Libra, you are the Justice card. It's balance, it's unity, right? Like, it's bringing all things together for what's fair and equitable. You may not be a fan of this right now. I'm not going to pretend. And I do feel like, you know, talk about that pentacle energy. That's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and it's also your root, your stability. And there's the root chakra. Libra, I've said it before. I'm going to say it again to you, and I'll probably be saying it for some time. Dynamics around your family situations, the upheaval that you are going to feel that is extremely uncomfortable, it's bittersweet. There is something about that foundational energy that is, it is magnetism. It is drawing you in to correct something, whether you want to or not. It's like, maybe not on your terms, but it's going to be on terms that that are required to correct whatever this is. And this is what has gone around is coming back around. So karmic balance, you know, maybe for a while you were able to keep that heartache, that pain, that disappointment at bay, but now there's something about the idea that it is truly affecting the foundations, and it's like you're being forced to heal something within you that is been neglected. It's been very neglected for a very long time. And you know, it's like, you ever seen this in movies where like someone gets stabbed and they just like pull their own knife out of their own leg or their arm or whatever the hell is going on in them? Same energy. Like, you're going to have to pull that knife out and start to let that wound heal. And it has to do with where you've come from, what you grew up in, what you're in. It's very much environmental, like what you were taught. And it's like, maybe you didn't have, you know, you weren't the one maybe that stabbed yourself from the very get-go, but you're now responsible to make sure that it heals. And that's what I'm getting from this. And it's bittersweet to have to realize, like, it's going to free you up to make better choices for yourself and to have a more fair and balanced lifestyle. But there's this resentment to it that we ever got here to begin with, whatever that means for you. King of Wands, it feels to me like it's trying to come out in the reverse. Six of Wands, you are going to be able to move on from this. You will have happiness and bliss in due time. But it's like, but the only way we know how to do is to fight about it. You know, and it's internal conflict too. As I say that, there's the Hermit card and the Six of Cups. There's inner child healing here, Libra. You know, as much as you guys pertain to the heart space, there's a lot of inner child healing here that needs to take place. And that is what this is pushing you towards. So this could also be mother-son, mother-daughter dynamic. This could be, you know, father-daughter. This could be, it really feels like a very familiar working partnership somehow. This could be exes. This could be lots of different things. But it's requiring you to go within. It's requiring you to make that long journey alone and really start to have to deal with the internal conflict of a situation that has come to you. And there comes that damned... I've seen this Tower in almost every single sign thus far. Tower, Ace of Wands, the Six of Cups. You're going to have to start to take the initiative here to emotionally course correct you so that it has a positive impact on future generations. This is generational healing that's starting to take place. And I think for some of you who maybe have slept on that or not really understood it, it's really starting to come into to reality for you. The same competition energy, looking over your shoulder, other woman, blah, 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 all that good stuff. The thing to this is, Libra, for some of you, if this surrounds a mother wound, maybe you're a mother yourself, who knows, right? Place it where it fits. You're seeing both sides of a particular situation, but there also could have been some kind of battle, maybe between, like, we'll say, your mother and your wife, right? Or two best friends that are in their feminine energy. Maybe a new lover versus an ex-lover who you have children with and you're, you know, contracted by soul to deal with. There's something around that where I kind of feel like somebody is still trying to stir the shit pot and you're caught in the middle of it. You're going to have to be the one to put an end to this. Union, marriage, soul connection, everlasting love, devotion, soulmates. This was meant to change you. I feel like whatever you're dealing with, and I feel like there's at least two situations outside of yourself that is triggering this inner child healing. This connection that came to be at some point was for the purpose of soul evolvement. And it's making you make higher commitments to yourself. Have faith, love is coming, surprise, invitation, struck by love, self-indulgence, self-worth and value, time to heal, shadow work, self-appreciation. If you haven't felt that you have been valued, loved, worth something, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised in the long run, Libra, to see how that energy changes once you open yourself up to start to do the healing work. Or as you go through this, you may already be seeing this, that little tinges of love or kindness or compassion will come in, and it's almost like spirit starts to give you a taste for that, and then you start to learn how to entangle yourself in that and engage with that rather than this internal struggle or fight that you may have had with yourself and other people around you. This has been a massive lesson, and for some of you, spirit is saying that lesson has yet to come, but you're feeling it. You're feeling the heightened awareness of that Tower moment that's ready to hit. Take it for what it is. All right, Scorpio, I'm going to take a second and jump back into this, so give me just a minute. Okay, Scorpio, so I was shuffling once I paused the video just to get these cards shuffled up pretty good. I heard you're weeding out the toxic situations in your life. Like, you may be really reviewing the past and doing some serious self-accountability here, and recognizing your own toxic traits and patterns and going, probably shouldn't do this anymore. Scorpio, let's, in the perspective, your perspective is shifting. I feel like it has to do with yourself more than it has to do with anybody or anything else. But I do think that you're taking a look at the big picture, like everything in your life, everything in its full totality, and going, this has to change. This is changing. And it just shuffle these cards and perspective comes out again in renewal as I say that. Like, you guys, to see any sign, and it's not just Scorpio that can tend to do this, but you guys are that transmutation, right? You're feeling alive. You're feeling like the vocal point within you is saying your piece, acknowledging yourself, saying what needs to be said, doing what needs to be done. But what I will say to you is lovely here, that you are doing it with great care. You're opening yourself up here. And so that to me is a massive positive. As I said to you about the toxic stuff, what's on the bottom? Pattern. That pattern comes out in specialization and balance. You are balancing out the things within you that have been in flux for a very long time. You're recognizing your own self-sabotaging tendencies. Now, what do you do with those? Right? It's like, now that I'm aware, now it's like, and I just said this yesterday to a client, when you are, if you're an alcoholic, you have to admit that you are an alcoholic. You have to be open to the idea that there is a problem. There is a problem in a behavior or a pattern or a thought process or an emotional entanglement or whatever this is. From there, you are able to transmute that energy. And I don't think for a second, Scorpio, that you're afraid to, it's like you're being bold and brave and daring. And yet, for the first time in a very long time, caring about a situation and caring for yourself. Unapologetically caring for yourself. But as you're learning to love yourself more and dive into that, you're also emitting that same frequency out into the world. So the situations that you're dealing with, you are nurturing them to the best of your ability as this transforms and transmutes. So watch your voice. I said this morning when I opened this video as a Scorpio myself, raspy voice this morning, bear with me. And you know, some of you could be needing to work on that throat chakra right now, getting more clear about what you say, how you say it, in spirit saying even how you address yourself. Card for Scorpio, woman holding a coin. And as I say that, look at that, the throat chakra on the bottom. You're abundantly fucking beautiful right now, and how you are so poised, so in control. You're working on your stability. These patterns and stuff are about your stability. It is just encompassing all that you are. You're following your intuition. You're acknowledging the things that are coming to the surface. You're speaking on what's coming to the surface. I will say to you that maybe you had a situation or have a situation right now that's leaving you feel, it's like being on the dark side of the moon. Like you're wanting to come out of that darkness and open up to this light. And I do think that you're stepping into this. And I'm also going to tell you, which I've told you now, I think now for a couple of months, not everybody is going to be super excited with this new evolving you. They're going to kind of be like, well, what the fuck? Well, Scorpio said their piece, so it is what it is. You're doing what you have to do to transform yourself out of this darkness into a healthier light and being. And it's like, sound the alarm is what I'm hearing. Like, here I come. I'm ready. High Priestess. The Ten of Swords. You know, you may be keeping a lot of this to yourself. I don't think that you're talking a lot about it. I don't think that you're acknowledging to the outside world the work that you are doing. But you're doing it. You're seeing where things are not healthy in this Ten of Swords, this backstab, this betrayal. You're finally, and it's not that you don't trust your intuition, but it's like things are slow, as things are being revealed that you have felt, like you feel it in your core. You don't know, you may not be able to see the long-term future of a particular situation, but as things are being revealed, you are cutting the cords attached to those situations, and you're moving into happier, more fruitful times for yourself. And, you know, the High Priestess is, there's a lot of unknowns that are still happening and will be happening, Spirit said, for the next 6 months. Scorpio, Empress energy, giving life, birth, new creations, new opportunities. Somebody else could be coming in. Page of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, doesn't have to be. Taurus and Libra energy here as well. Some of you could have significant Libra placements in your chart, Spirit is saying. And maybe Taurus for some of you. Scorpio, I feel like you may be dealing with a Taurus more than you have those Taurus placements. But this is finding the resolve within you to create a new path, to be the giver of life, that Empress, fertile. So be careful. But there's new opportunity that's bound. I feel like this is more of a creation, a stability, an inner knowing. Spirit is saying spiritual achievement. You know, the crown that the Empress wears. Like she's earned that crown. She's earned the right to sit on her throne looking beautiful and magnificent. You could be sending off a lot of appeal about you right now too with this Page of Pentacles. It's kind of like, again, it's like this idea of emitting this aura about you. There's that Queen of Wands, the moon. Scorpio, you could have a lot of people vying for your attention right now. You could have a lot of things going on in your external environment when it relates to people that are fighting for your attention or vying for your attention. This is also an internal transformation of the different parts and various parts of you that are saying, do you see me? Do you see this unhealthy part of myself? What do we need to do to resolve this? So it's good stuff. And as I say that, there's the healing, the High Priestess, quietly in the shadows at night when no one else is watching or can hear or see, or they can't feel your vibration, whatever. That's when you're doing your most transformative work. And I'm going to say it's in the dark. It's in the dark where you're coming up with these judgment calls and going, I've seen the dark of situations. I'm in the dark right now. I'm transforming that, transmuting that, and I'm resting with that. You are healing maternal wounds as well. And then the Ten of Swords, Nine of Cups. Anybody in your life, Scorps, that has been complacent, like if you've sat in a period of stagnancy and complacency with other people, partnerships, shit like that, or things that have been put on hold, it's like you may be giving something one last go around and going, or maybe you've already done this. Scorpio, I feel like this is like a 10-step process for you, that you could have 10 different scenarios in your life right now, and you're revisiting each one and going, do you get to go along with me for this ride? And as I transform, are you going to appreciate the value that I hold? Do you see my value? Do you see my worth? And anybody that's coming in half-assed, they're not giving enough, you're not doing it. It's like if you're going to sit complacent and it's going to be on your terms and your terms only, it's no. And Scorpio, I feel like you're stepping into your own terms and conditions of your own life rather than the terms and conditions that somebody else has an expectation of you moving forward. So there's a lot of spiritual evolution for you going on this week. As I say that, the Coffin, new beginnings, liberation, reborn, transitions, tragic endings. Not everybody's going to be happy with the ending, like the final roll call that Scorpio lays down. There's a lot of new passion and chemistry that's coming in. Could potentially be from a fire sign, does not have to be. Or it could be another water sign, Scorpio. Advice for Scorpio this week. The Snake, competition and energy, the other woman looking over your shoulder. Again, to me, this is more about lies and deception in a girl with a snake, right? Like, snakes are sneaky, right? Pay attention to people who don't seem to divulge everything to you, or don't feel, you know, whether it's comfortable enough and with you to speak on something or to address something. You're sitting back and you're observing patterns and behaviors, not just within yourself, but with others. If you feel like it's putting you in competition, no, you're recognizing again your value and your worth. Boundaries, your boundaries are thick as fuck right now. You're just not going to certain places with certain people, and you know, your abundance is coming in. You are reviewing everything and having faith with love. Like your ability to love is finally shining through you, and you're going to be surprised. I said somebody could be making you some kind of offer or something to that effect. You've got surprise invitation. I think that somebody is going to pop up for you, Scorpio, that you're not anticipating, or maybe you've had, Spirit is saying some kind of communication with them that's going to lead to beautiful abundance that I don't think you're quite expecting that level of maturity from them somewhere. it's going to resonate differently with all of you, but someone is seeing you as just that, a beautiful and abundant, and they're willing to meet you where you are, whether this is relationships, partnerships, friendships, family. Like, finally somebody is seeing, like, they I feel like they all see this glow about you right now, but at the same time, not everybody is able to be confident, bold, and assertive enough to meet you there. I hope that makes sense for you this week. So they're watching. You got a lot of people viewing you, watching you, thinking about you, addressing you. You know, you could, yeah, shock in pictures. Yeah, people from the past. You could see a lot of your past coming up right now too, Scorpio. And with Mercury retrograde heading that way, it's like you're healing each relationship. Again, doesn't have to be love or romantic. You're reviewing each relationship and going, is this really the end? And your video for March, was it the final goodbye? You're going to be writing some of these people off, and I think you're in the middle or the beginning stages of this review process for everything in your life. Do you stay? Do you go? Very interesting energy, Scorpio. All right, Sagittarius, what's going on here, guys? Consistency and shift. Okay, Sag, March 10th, or 11th, March 11th through the 18th. There we go. Revision. A lot of cards. I'm going to reshuffle these, but rediscovery, clarity, efficiency, and absence coming out. I said this to you, I think, in your monthly last month, Sag. Your life is not going to look the same. And here comes that revision. Eclipse in Libra, Mercury retrograde, Pisces new moon. We've got the full moon in, what is that, Virgo, I believe? Was it Virgo? Or no, we're going into Libra. No, I can't think. Hold on, let's go back 6 months. My brain just went blank. Full moon in, wait a minute, Pisces. My brain just went blank. Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, Sag, Scorpio, Libra. Full moon in Libra, I think, is what we're moving into. Yeah, double whammy, Sag. Your life is changing big time. Magnetism, ready but waiting. Do not, Sagittarius, do not go back to the past. You're revisiting where you have felt abandoned. Like, this is abandonment wounds that you're dealing with. Why go back to the things that you felt have abandoned you? It's time to heal those abandonment wounds. Reaction, the sorrow, the depressive states, the bittersweet, when you get to that space of abandonment, Sagittarius, it is about you healing those abandonment wounds. And I kind of feel like for some of you, you're rushing the process. Like, you're afraid something is going to get away. You're constantly being drawn back into something here. And your soul may want to make peace with it. By all means, make peace. Because it takes you into a place of acceptance, which we have to have in order to heal. But in the same breath, you can go back and heal it. It does not mean that you have to reconnect with it. I hope that is making sense the way I'm putting that to you. Yes, you can address it, but does it mean that it's good for you? Yes, you can forgive or love or create peace, but is it good for you in the long term? And I make sure you're not revisiting toxic shit that has hurt you. There's a lot of pain, sorrow, bittersweet, agony that comes around family situations, and you're seeing something from an emotional level. Somebody with emotions, I'm going to say, Sag, and I'm no offense to you. I mean, it could be you. I don't think it is, though. May have walked away emotionally unsatisfied from a situation. You may be beginning to understand the heartbreak at some point that either they were feeling or you were feeling or the both of you were feeling as to why you were ever drawn together to begin with. And this could have been a reflection of abandonment wounds on both sides of a situation. So now it's like, how do we bring this to the surface and course correct or heal or make change? It's like you're really trying to balance out with conclusion the why. Okay, so let's see, what is this broken heart for Sag this week, Spirit? Telling me to shuffle them again. High Priestess, Knight of Swords. Passive aggressive ways is what I'm getting from that. Who was being passive aggressive? You, them, both of you, you know, whatever this is. Change, Spirit is saying, is on the horizon. You've got the Death card, so you could be dealing with a Scorpio, Sag. I see that quite often for you. But it's also your neighbor sign there. Knight of Wands, rushing in after an ending, the Fool, starting anew, cause for celebration, Three of Cups. This seems to be really hard for you. Like, you kind of get in taking this period of pause, the Hangman energy, Eight of Wands, and then the Nine of Wands. A lot of ambition to make a change happen here, but yet when it comes to getting down to doing it, there seems to be a little bit of a hang up with this. Like, I want to, but I feel like you've had your ass handed to you by a particular situation over and over again. So there's like this confusion internally of, do I make this move? Do I really, like, you really want to go back to it and attempt to reconcile something, but yet within you, it is like, what's the point? The point isn't about them or reconnecting. It's about you healing. And that's the thing that you have to recognize. It's not about them. It's about you and what you need to do for yourself. So if you're in a place, I don't feel like it's necessarily an apology, but it's like kind of Spirit is saying to clear the air. So that's okay too. If you got to clear the air, clear the air. If you're in that position that you're able to do that, do that. You could have felt like somebody was being selfish. Maybe they felt you were being selfish. They were juggling too many things. The emotions were all over the place. There was highs, there were lows. There were a lot of difficult periods of time here as well. It was like somebody was bound to get hurt. Two of Swords coming out sideways with this Fool is with the Hermit. That introspection, right? That journey on your own, Spirit is saying. There's only one way. The Fool's journey, he starts off on his own. He has no experience. He's got nothing. He's just throwing caution to the wind and he's starting over. I do feel like a new cycle with a particular situation is forming. I want to say, like, allow your human mind to accept that because you come back around to something to heal it, doesn't mean that you have to get involved in it again. Okay? Like, I do think that there's peace and growth in this, but it doesn't mean that it's meant to be either. So don't hold an expectation tied to something. Just go with the flow, go with the journey, go with what comes in. But I also think it's an understanding for you as to how deep something ran that maybe you didn't see before. Okay, so could be dealing with a Virgo or a Scorpio, does not have to be. What is the advice? Not today, boundaries and hurt, avoiding conversation, not dealing and still upset. And that's, talk about the Death card and the Five of Swords. That is the cutout, the cut point where we're not dealing with these things anymore. I do think that there was clarity and truth that needed to be spoken and or addressed to handle a particular situation, and somebody's determination to make changes may have created conflict that was avoided, not wanting to talk about it, not wanting to discuss it, not wanting to deal with it whatsoever. Additional advice for Sagittarius. Watching, looking, perception, stalking. Sitting back and being the observer to a particular situation for the sake of evolution and growth. There's a lot around, and I've seen this before for you Sagittarius, where there's a lot around just the old way of doing, the old way of being, the old way of thinking. When you stick yourself into a loop of something, Spirit is saying 6 months to 6 years ago, that you stayed in that particular cycle of a situation, and that is the thing that you continue to replay and repeat constantly. That's going to be the thing that you manifest every single time. You cannot stay in a looped cycle of something and expect for something to change and come out differently if your old belief system is still in place. So this is a reconstruction of the belief system for you as a whole. And advice, again, after this period of acceptance and recognizing a particular situation, I think that you're going to be able to live more fully in the moment for yourself. without tying an expectation to anything. And I think that when you step outside of that and stop trying to force an outcome, the change of the growth that happens with you is where the involvement happens, maybe with a particular person or situation, but it's going to lighten the load and you're going to gain a lot of clarity from that. Okay. Capricorn. All right. Capricorn, what's going on with you guys? March 18th or March 11th through the 18th. All right, Spirit, for Capricorn. Fortitude, discernment. Pick your friends wisely. Choose your friends wisely, Capricorn. Anybody that's been flaky, out of balance, that you feel like you have to stay on top of them for things, don't give more of yourself than you need to. Perspective, preservation. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is, you're going to have to see things for what they are. You're going to unify with the right things in the right time, Capricorn. And I do think that you're kind of going through a period of weeding. I'm going to tell you the same thing I kind of told Scorpio. Like, you're kind of like weeding those things out. And you're going to know, pay attention to your feeling. There's that perspective again, that third eye energy. Sixth chakra, Archangel Metatron. Work with Archangel Metatron. If it feels loving and supportive to you, then you go with it. If it does not and it drains your energy, let it the fuck go. Because I do think that, and as I say that, there is the Journey card, which she is getting up and leaving a situation, and that leads to places of abundance when it comes to love and nurturing and things that are, you know, could be romance. But I do, if it's romance related, some of you can have multiple options right now. If it leaves you feeling drained, it's a hard no. Okay. So what is this sixth chakra? 3 of Swords, 2 of Swords. You're changing the way you view your personal pain too here, Capricorn. It's like you're finally realizing how much you internalize on a mental note the pain that you're dealing with on the regular. And it's as I say that, here comes Temperance. 2 of Wands. You're picking a new direction when it comes to a particular situation. What I like about this is the world is in his hands. The world is in her hands, right? So you get to choose your direction. And I think that some of you are reviewing those past directions. Hangman, after a period of stagnancy, don't be afraid to put a mofo on pause. Like, I feel like that's where you're having a hard time. You feel like you need to engage, you need to do something. You don't. Like, if you don't feel like it's healthy for you, you don't need to engage. Pour into your own cup instead of pouring into somebody else's with this. Hangman, this is going to be about your stability. This is going to be about your growth. This is about suspending the things that are not working. This 2 of Wands, Ascension. This is top tier stuff, Capricorn, for you. You are preparing for a new phase in your life, and it emits a lot of boundaries. Pictures. I do think that there are things from the past, whether this is family or friends, could be lovers too, doesn't have to be, that you recognize that they came into your life for a reason and a season, and now it's time to let those things go, that they're no longer helping you to progress in your life where it is that you need to go. And what is this Temperance? Advice for Temperance. Same card that was on the bottom. Ship. Cutting ties, moving on, receiving what you need, and progression. If they don't help you progress, strong, firm boundaries, Capricorn, so that you can progress in your own way for your own self in due time. And don't expect this to happen overnight, because it's like you're going to have to wrestle with the idea of certain parts or certain people that you're going to have to let go of. And that's going to be the hard thing because of loyalty with you. So give it time and space to happen. It's almost like you're waiting to see and evolving it. Aquarius. 24. All right, Aquarius. Let's see what's going on with you for the month, or for the week of March 11th through the 18th, Aquarius. March 11th through the 18th, Aquarius. Shift and rediscovery. You know, that rediscovery card, Aquarius, comes out for you guys a lot in the weeklies when I've used this particular deck. Again, this goes back to children. for you guys, and it seems to. I do think that some of you are healing relationships with children in your life. Some of you could be healing the relationship with your inner child as well right now. It is a massive change. Efficiency. Stop fighting it. Like, do not put time constraints on things. And I feel like that's kind of what you're doing this week, is going, you know, I threw them a bone or an olive branch last week, and by now they should have realized or said or done X, Y, and Z. And that's not what this is about. It's not about the time frame in which it is done. It is about the journey to get to the other side of a particular situation. So do not force things to happen. You may feel like things are not working out in your favor, but in the long term, Aquarius, they truly are. And that's something you're going to have to get comfortable with. It doesn't happen overnight. You know, your perception, it's like all of a sudden you're fired up and amped up to make these changes and start to work with these energies. Somebody else outside of you could be hesitant to do that, or a little like, standoffish about it. Give them time. It's like, you know, coaxing, you got a stray cat in your neighborhood. If you're a cat lover and you feel the need to collect all the strays, if a cat has been feral for God knows how long, right? You're not going to be able to get that cat to fully trust you right away. It's going to take time. It's, you know, treats, love, nurture, care, all of that kind of stuff. This situation here, Aquarius, is no different, that you're going to have to give this time to warm up to something new, or maybe you're the one who's warming up to something new, being that fixed sign energy, right? That's easy to see that way. So Aquarius, envy, and 5th chakra. So more throat energy, more throat chakra. I will say this, for a lot of you, you may not be trusting somebody coming into you or trying to come into your space, and it's kind of like, or you've left somebody hanging out in the cold and you're like, okay, now I'm ready to handle a situation. I'm ready to come closer to a situation. I'm ready to address a situation that, you know, it has been for some time. And I will also say to you, when I talk about that time constraint, when it comes to whomever or whatever you're dealing with, they could be hanging out in some victim mentality right now. So you might be open and loving, but they're still sitting with, there you go, the pain. Their pain, you know, their truth of pain. And like, you're going to have to make sure that if you're coming in compassion and love from like your own certain space, that you're giving weight to their pain, even if they maybe are victimizing themselves somehow. Understand why they are, okay? It's like that you need to understand why they are feeling the way they're feeling about something, and addressing it from that space. Like, don't discount their feelings or their thoughts, because you may be really open and loving. They may not be. They may be so wounded it's going to take some time. So let's see here. 6 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles, planting those seeds, right? Give it time. Plant the seeds, you know, open that door, help to bridge the gap, but you have to give it time to flourish on its own. Page of Swords, that communication. 4 of Swords coming out sideways, and the 2 of Swords. Somebody is just like, hold on, wait a minute. So again, Aquarius, whether this is you or them, you know, extend the olive branch. Maybe it is via communication. Maybe it's a text message going, hey, I was thinking about you. Or maybe they've said something to you, and it's like this feeling of trying to bring this together, but patience is absolutely 110% required here. So you've got to give it that right now. Advice for Aquarius: new beginnings, liberation, reborn, transition, tragic endings. Key on a ring, many options. Unconventional, one night stand, string along. I feel like this is what this person, or even yourself, Aquarius, has dealt with in the past. And it's like, if there's been a relationship or something where trust has been broken, it's going to take time to rebuild that. They are not doing the same things, or you're not doing the same things that once were done, but it takes time to rebuild, and you're going to have to be patient in that. And as that patience is happening and you're giving that person the space or the choices to come out of that hurt, it's going to take some time. But I'm going to say to you too, if you're working on healing a relationship with somebody where trust has been broken, don't go off on a tangent or a maybe doing things in a toxic way that you may have done before, because they're going to kind of look at that and review that too and go, oh, you're up to your same old ways. You may just be out living, you know, living because you want to live and feel and do without any toxicity behind it. But it's like their predisposition to what has already been could be triggering them right now. So be aware. All right, Pisces. Shoot, okay. Pisces. All right, Pisces, March 11th through the 18th. What is going on with you in this new moon? Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. I can smell, oh my gosh, that's so weird. I can, you ever, those, were they toaster strudels? Like the strawberry toaster strudels that you poured the icing over? I could just smell those. I don't know. Like maybe you're having breakfast with somebody or making something for somebody or pastries or something. I don't know. That was so random. Maybe that's what you're celebrating your birthday with, Pisces. So happy birthday to all of you guys. All right, let's see. Pisces. What does Pisces need to know? Perspective and discernment. You're holding on to a lot. You're reviewing a lot. You're seeing the beauty in a lot of things. Like, it's like thinking about that pastry, and it's like you're savoring every little bite. Tasting it, taking it in. Strawberries could be a thing right now. I don't know what you all are doing, but like, it's a specific message, but it's like you're really savoring the sweetness of life. Productivity, and I think you're pacing yourself. Don't, listen, Pisces, stay out of that dreamy energy though, because I feel like you may be sensationalizing certain things that are gonna cause problems later on. Just a heads up on that. But I think you're also finding the little sweet things in life that consistently uphold a feeling of goodness within you. And it's almost like you're letting off steam. You could be working out, exercising, letting out toxic, negative energies. This is your rebirth. This is your solar return, right? So I like the energy that's coming in with this, though. You've got 7th chakra, which is the crown, walking away, thinking man, and carrying connections. Pisces, I just want to say to you, like, I feel like you're struggling a little bit between the light and the dark energy, but know that what you're manifesting is coming. You just have to stay in that frequency. Talk to your guides, talk to source. You're gonna be guided. And I'm gonna say for some of you, I'm like hearing Beyonce, like she's like, to the left, everything you own in the box to the left. Some of you could be giving somebody the fucking boot right now. Going, you know what, I've spent the last 6 years doing this with you. I'm not doing this anymore. Out. Go. Get. You're ready for something that is a true connection and partnership. Like, you're either in or you're out. There is no more flakiness. There is no back and forth. I'm tired of denying what is true. And the Empress and the 7 of Cups. Something that's played with your emotions. 2 of Cups, Knight of Wands, impulsivity. Don't react on those temporary highs of a moment of something or somebody. It's very important that you stand firm in your boundaries. The Page of Swords, I've seen the Page of Swords more times today than I care to acknowledge. Taurus, Libra energy there as well. And the Death card, Scorpio. I'm telling you, you guys are putting an end to this Ace of Swords. It's like whatever clarification or truth they want to give to you about something, you don't even want to hear it. You don't even want to hear it. It's like thumbs down. Nope, I'm good. Just keep going. So Pisces, a lot of endings for you right now as well, as this transformation takes place, because, and there you are, Judgment with you, the Page of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. Someone's going to make you a tangible offer of stability and support that you weren't getting before. So what you're emitting is what you're going to get back. Advice for Pisces. Wedding rings, union, marriage, everlasting connection, devotion, clarity, and truth. Some of you could be leaving a marriage. Sabotage, rebuild, persistent, working on it, repairing. There's something around false promises and hopes that have happened. Like, it's just enough to kind of lure you back into things. And I do think that it's kind of like enough is enough. I've consistently seen all that I need to see here. And I'm finding little things that are good to me. And it's not you. Hate to put it that way, but that's what's coming out. Yin-yang, balance, union, duality, complement, polar opposites. It's not enough. You know, you could have connected with somebody. I mean, opposites attract, right? But at the same time, sometimes if you can't find that level playing field, that niche in it, it doesn't work long term. And that could be part of this. You're starting to realize how different, or what the goal difference is in what it is that you were doing. And it's like, I know what I want now versus what I don't want. And cutting out separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, passion. New passions are coming in here for you, Pisces. Somebody that meets you on that equal interest, that equal playing field, that lights that fire within you, that makes you feel like you're alive again, and it's coming. And it could just be the simple things too that you're doing for yourself. You know, strawberry pastries, apparently. It's helping you heal past karmic relationships and twin flames as well. So, all right, guys, I'm leaving it there. I hope that the message for the week has helped you. The other videos for March will be out before long. Thank you again to all of those of you who have liked, shared, subscribed, commented, the booking of personal readings. You guys are absolutely amazing. I appreciate each and every single one of you. So, back to business as usual, finally. Yay! All right, I will see you all soon. Take care. Sending you love and light. Bye.